My journey to understand the homeless problem in San Francisco has led me to Fisherman's Wharf.
What do you got here?
No, just something to help me get help.
Where I found a young man panhandling on the sidewalk with a stuffed animal under his arm.
I like it.
This is 25-year-old Corey Harris.
What brings you here? Are you from San Francisco?
I'm from San Diego, but coronavirus and the cleanup, I just moved away from it.
I asked him how long he's been homeless, and he tells me pretty much his whole life.
Just unfortunate, moving house to house, no real parents to care.
You a foster child?
Yeah, at one point, yes.
What do you do for a shelter right now?
Oh, I sleep outside. I have a sheet.
And are you trying to get any services?
I tried, but they didn't really want to help me. They denied me.
Corey says the last place he went for help was Larkin Street Youth Services, so that's where I decided to go next and find out why it didn't work out for Corey. It turns out it could be because he's just a little too old to qualify for their help. They allowed me inside with my camera to one of the emergency shelters at Ellis Street on the edge of the Tenderloin, known as the Lark Inn. This one is reserved for youth aged 18 to 24. People who do qualify are given welcome kits with toiletries and sheets. Once inside, you're greeted by brightly colored murals with uplifting messages. While a sunny landscape cheers this hallway, the actual sleeping quarters are a bit bleak. Cement floors, spare furnishings, plastic bins, and metal lockers store belongings. Right now, some beds are not being slept in because the pandemic has them running at only half capacity.
My experience is there's a place to lay your head at night if you ain't got nothing else.
That first-hand perspective comes from Larkin resident Dale Jones. I met the 22-year-old from Contra Costa County as he was hanging out inside the Larkin Street Youth Services access site on Golden Gate Avenue. Dale didn't want to go into details on how he ended up homeless in San Francisco, but describes what his life was like before he found a place at the shelter.
In the past year before I got here, I lived with like 7 different family members, a couple different houses, in a hotel a couple times, and an Airbnb a couple times.
Now he tells me he's making the most of the resources available to him, checking in with his caseworker here once a week about getting a more permanent place to stay.
I'm in the shelter right now, but I'm already on the waiting list for basically cheaper housing. They're going to help me pay, so just going through it.
The vibe of the access site is more college student coffee shop than bureaucrats' waiting room. Here, those as young as 12 can drop in and grab hot meals, access laundry and showers, pick from a clothing closet, or get hygiene products. They can do arts and crafts or simply rest and charge their phones, like Dale did before going to the Job Corps program he's enrolled in. Dale says this place gives him a sense of security.
It's that simple, a place to wake up and go to every day.
Dale hopes to get help finding a job as a security guard and one day get his degree.
I want to follow psychology and get a master's degree because I want to be a psychology teacher at the end of the day.
Larkin Street Youth Services says they are working towards ending youth homelessness, so it is rare, brief, and one time. Sherilyn Adams is the executive director.
We know that about 50% of the folks that are experiencing homelessness who are over the age of 18 had their first experience between the ages of 18 and 25, right? So we know that the quicker we intervene with homelessness, we go a long ways towards preventing chronic homelessness. The other piece is that the longer you're outside, the more detrimental it is to your health and well-being.
What's been going on with you since I saw you last?
I've just been around surviving.
While at the access site, I ran into a familiar face. Corey was there to take a shower and get some food, but the 25-year-old will likely have a harder time finding a place to sleep than he would have had just 1 year ago.
We don't have a great system in San Francisco around 25 to 35-year-olds in general, because the span of age, right, for people experiencing homelessness, 70, 75, and we prioritize folks based on length of time homeless right now.
Meanwhile, Corey continues to try to get the help he needs.
Had any luck finding any kind of housing?
I've been looking around. No luck yet, though.
Reporting on the streets, I'm Maureen Kelly, Cron 4 News.
25, you're a little too old for their shelters, but I'm wondering if maybe they can help you get hooked up with